Good afternoon to all. Hope all of you are safe and sound. Welcome back to my today's session. Before starting the session, let me introduce myself. I am Anwar Hussain, assistant teacher in English, Jaintapur Government High School, Jaintapur, SET. Dear viewers, my today's session is for class 8 and unit 7. So let's proceed. Dear students, can you say what do you see in the picture? Can you imagine? I think you can. That is something that is very much familiar to us. That is we use. Can you imagine? That is, what is this? This is pearl, and pearl in what? Pearl in shell. All right. And also there are different types of pearls we see, and we use in as an ornament. Basically for the girls and women, they use it. And now there is another picture. What is this? You see, that is a very common scene, common picture. And yes, you can guess that is a necklace. Okay. So can you tell me the necklace that is made of what? Another picture. Now we got it. A woman wears a necklace that the necklace is made of pearl. So my today's topic is pearl. All right, you know. So that is pearl, pearl and pearl, and that is important for our exam. And that is our main text. You see, I'm going to read it for you, and you can read it from your book or from that screen. Thousands of years ago, the first pearl was probably discovered while human beings were searching for food at the seashore. Dear students, have a look. Thousands of years ago, the first pearl, probably they are not certain. They said probably, and they discovered it where? When they were looking for food at the seashore. I mean, they discovered the pearl accidentally. All right, by chance they got it. All right. Throughout history, the pearl with its shine has been one of the most highly valued gems. You know, throughout history, I mean, that is from ancient time, that pearl was valued. I mean, the people regard it as one of the most important ornaments or valued gems. Dear students, pearls have been mentioned many times in religious texts and mythologies from the earliest times. So we find the reference of pearls in various books, including religious texts, religious and mythologies from the earliest times. Mythologies, you know, that is old stories, tell stories that we hear from our ancestors. The ancient Egyptians valued pearls so much that they were buried with them. You can notice one thing there. The ancient Egyptians, you know what we mean, they regard pearls as one of the most important, valuable wealth. And that is why when anyone died at that time, basically those were the kings of Egyptians, they were buried with them, as it is very valuable to them. It is said that the famous queen of Cleopatra, Egypt Cleopatra, would dissolve a pearl in a glass and drink it as a sign of love and respect for the entire nations. So you have the name of Cleopatra. She was one of the most beautiful queens at the time, and she was the queen of what? Egypt. She would do one thing every day. She dissolved a piece of pearl in a glass of water, and she drank it, and she drank it as a symbol of love and respect for the entire nation. The Greeks thought of pearls as a sign of wealth and social position. Actually, everybody, those were the civilized, developed civilizations, they regard pearl as one of wealth, and it determines their social positions. And the beauty of pearls was associated with love and marriage. So from ancient time, from time immemorial, people used pearls as a symbol of love and respect, and it very much relate with marriages, love and marriages. In ancient Rome, pearls were considered the greatest sign of wealth and social status. The same thing is going to repeat in ancient Rome. All right. They also considered it is one of the most valuable wealth, and it regards and it determined their social status. Those who have pearls, lot of pearls, we think that is he or she is very important person in the society. It is something more valuable, like we call the diamond, that is pearls. At that time, the young women of noble families loved to wear beautiful pearl necklaces. So those who belong to a higher class, those who are wealthy in the society, basically the women, they like to wear such beautiful pearls as an ornament. The brave knights used to wear them in the battles for good luck. Another thing, that is, those were the knights, those were the warriors, those were the heroes, they keep pearls as a good luck. Okay, so this is the main text. Now let's see, we have another section, that is vocabulary presentations. So what is the mythology? I said earlier, that is the study of myth, that is all stories. All right, that is mythology that we hear from our ancestors, from our grandmothers, that is mythology. And ancient means what? You can understand already. Ancient means primitive or old, we can say, or aged, you can mean ancient. Dissolve means, I said, that is put into water. All right, you are going to wet something on the water, that is called dissolve. And unparalleled is what? Unparalleled means that is superb or unique. All right, that is incomparable, that we call them unparalleled. Knights, you got the point. Knights, what is knights? Heroes, warrior. All right, there we call them knights. All right. Now you have to read the text and answer the following questions. There are 4 questions for you. What is the first one? How did the pearls discover? Can you remember? I said earlier in the passage, how did the pearls have been discovered? How? So we will see. We know that the pearls were discovered accidentally. I mentioned it earlier, accidentally. All right. Why? People were looking for food on the seashore. So while they were looking for food on the seashore, and suddenly they got pearls. Who valued the pearls very much? Can you remember? Who valued the pearls? That is, they regard valued. Who are the ancient Egyptian valued pearls very much. Alright. Sorry, there is missing word very much. And they were buried with them. So already, they loved it very much because, and they were buried with them, as it is very much valuable to them. Where do you find the reference of pearls? Other questions. Where do you find the reference of pearls? We got the reference of pearls were found in religious text and mythology. You see, understand? And number D, why do you think the pearls were valued so much in the past? Can you tell me why the pearls were valued so much in the past? Okay, in the past, pearls were valued so much because they were greater sign of social position and wealth. All right, because it determines, it considered the social position in the society. That is why people give more value on them. The knight wore them as a symbol of good luck. So those were the knights, those were the heroes. They used them as a symbol of good luck. So dear students, that is all for me, and thank you very much for enjoying these sessions. Stay safe, stay connected.